And we are live. It is showtime. Happy New Year, everybody. You know, what a turd floater 2020's been. It's it just I haven't heard of it being really good for anybody. Not that I know of anyway. I think we've all suffered through it quite a bit. There are actually a lot of lives going on right now. Mogollon Monster, I think Sawdust Beast, maybe Woodbooger Farm. Won't hurt my feelings if you guys join them. I just glad I don't have to be alone. I'm going to call Linda when it gets close to midnight, so you guys will be able to hear her. But what I am going to do, this is we're going to open this forum up, and anyone and everyone is invited. So I'll be posting the link in the chat periodically. What do I have to say? You know, haven't done a show in a while. Had my son. First time I'd seen him since July. Had him for the week after Christmas. So didn't do anything. Just spent time with him and got episode 13 of Bigfoot Odyssey. It's getting close. I'm back out at work, so I've got a lot of time to work on it. I didn't touch it while Daniel was home. So some of you guys are on the East Coast are having Happy New Year right now. Happy 2021 to you guys. We will be here until midnight Central, maybe just a hair after. But the link is posted. Anyone that wants to join is most welcome. We'll talk about the expedition that's coming up. The dates have been set for that. All of the reservations have been made. Yeah, I'm already kind of nervous about it. Got a lot of emails, people wanting to go. And I'll say this, the group, the crew that we're taking down there is set right now, but things happen. So all of you that have emailed and that I've talked to, you never know. Someone backs out. We're going to have to replace them. A lot of things to talk about on that front. Would really like to have someone join me. That would be nice. Brad had shoulder surgery, and he's sleeping right now. So he's laid up. He's been on the good drugs, the good legal stuff. But he had a torn rotator cuff, and they actually detached it and then reattached it. So they say whatever you're doing at New Year's, you'll be doing all year long, and I hope that's not true for Brad. I am at work, so that's one good thing, and I'll be on here with you all. Wow, 96. I'm actually surprised that many of you guys decided to join me, but big shout out and thanks to our moderators. The whole year, you guys have maintained the integrity of our chat, done just a fantastic job. I haven't heard one bad thing, really. I mean, I think there might have been one Sasquatch Chronicles. Hey, what's happening, Wes? How are you? I might have heard one bad thing that one of our moderators did, and they're not a moderator anymore. So that's kind of how we do this. We trust you guys to handle our chat for us, and we can't tell you how much I trust you guys. I say we, like there's 90 of us here at Bigfoot Odyssey. It's just 3, myself, Daniela, and Brad that do this, and then mostly it's just Linda and I when we do the travel show. And I talked to Mark Zaski yesterday about setting up a time in February to come down there and film. But what I think we're going to do is just when we get ready to do the expedition, we're just going to go down there a few days before, film with Mark and Melanie, get their stuff out of the way, and then we'll do the the docuseries. Wow, it's really good to see everybody. Let's see. Anyone want to join? Anybody? Come on. Come sit with me. Here we go. Oh,
So
yes.
that's
Oh,
how we do this.
Leon.
Guys,
How wonderful.
1 second.
Chat.
I'm listening to you at the same time, so I'm just meeting you now. There we go.
There you go. Can you hear me again?
Merry Christmas, Carrie.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. How are you doing?
We're doing pretty good. Actually, we had a report from BFRO came in just 4 days ago. Two people in a vehicle two different people in vehicles seeing a Sasquatch in a field close to our location.
Really?
So so there's about a foot of snow out there. So we're going to go and grid that out in the next couple of days, and we should be able to follow the trackway.
Oh, that's awesome, man. You know, I say really like it's a big surprise. And you know, if you go on the BFRO website that I've done for the Shudder, just going through stories there, 70% are roadside, at least. And I think that's not the majority. I just think that's the majority of what they put up. Yeah. And as sad as that is, don't they have someone there that like vets each thing that comes in, or maybe there's a few people that do it?
Yeah,
I've heard this. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah, Matt went and did this one. Actually, he got a phone call from the people and stuff like that. He just posted. You guys can check it out on BFRO. Go to British Columbia, Canada, and then look at the latest report. Came out the day after Christmas. So the nice thing about it is there's tracks. So, and Nick's out in the bush right now. He's actually spending 2 nights out in the bush because that's what he can do because he's young and spry. So he's made himself like he'll be bushwhacking, so he's not taking a tent or nothing with him. He knows how to survive out in the fort or in the bush in the wintertime. But the nice thing is there's tracks, so we'll be able to find out the location of where they came from, the direction, and the direction where they went. And so I emailed Matt and I asked him to give us a contact number so we can contact the people who happen to live close by. And it's right next to Slocan Lake. So, it was just wicked.
You sound very excited about it. And, you know, personally, I think anyone that's born in Canada on that side anyway, they're just born knowing how to bushwhack, right? You know, it's just one of those things.
We're a little more familiar with it because we're more familiar with it a little bit more because I don't want to sound like, because it can sound kind of rude, but I mean, I'm in British Columbia. Everything's outside, right? It's all forest. It's all bush stuff. It's camping, fishing. It's hiking, snowshoeing, snowmobiling.
Because there's nothing else.
Oh, we have other things to do. Like I'm talking to you in another country from another state.
Satellites do work all over the world.
And,
you know,
I get to try this tonight, Sasquatch Stout beer.
Oh, no doubt. That's pretty cool. I actually got 2 gallons of peach moonshine. That I'm not drinking it, but the guys I worked with wanted it, so I procured some for them. It's legal, by the way.
What's the alcohol content? Because you could always use it for, if the lights go out and stuff, you can use it for candlelight. You just put it in a little container with that.
It's 110 proof. It's 55.
Yeah, that'll light up fine. Yeah, it'll keep you lit for a few hours if you got that much of it.
Yeah, it's 55 horsepower. You know, I don't think how anybody would drink anything more powerful than that. It's just not enjoyable to me unless you just want to get plastered. But yeah, the pain of drinking. It's, you get the people that drink 180 and 190 and that high powered stuff, which there may be some tipsy people in the chat right now.
That'll be good. That's one
possibility.
Well, if somebody else jumps in, I'll probably take off for a little bit, but still watch online and stuff. But
well, I'm glad you joined me. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere by myself, and like I said, I'm going to be calling Linda about 5 minutes till midnight, so we'll have her on the phone. But I just haven't done a show in a while. Did not want to be out here the new year. I've got this format. I've got some decent internet right now, so I said, hey, why not? Let's do it.
Well, I think it's awesome you spent time with your son.
Yeah. And
100%, buddy, that's pretty awesome Christmas.
that I got to,
Yeah.
you know, the whole COVID thing, it really messed up seeing him. And plus being out here doesn't help. But when I was home, I wasn't able to see him the 2 times that I had come home in between hitches. But you know, we got to talk on the phone, and you know, he's 12. He turned 12 the 30th. Yesterday. So
6 more years and he's 18.
well, what was kind of weird, you know, I've been talking to him on the phone, but when I went to pick him up, I heard his voice, and it's starting to crack. And it's
nice.
It's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. So,
but Dad, honestly, I'm serious about what I'm trying to tell you.
But he's a good kid. He really is. He's my baby boy. Now, I just found out my oldest son, who is 25, he's a contractor in South Carolina, is about to be a father.
No.
So I'm about to be a grandfather.
The first
time.
Oh, look at you, Daddy. We'll get some walkers out there pretty soon there.
Yeah, she's actually due at the end of February.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations.
Yeah, so he's him and his wife are expecting a little girl, so I'll have a granddaughter. And I had all boys. It's probably a good thing I didn't have a daughter, because they would probably still be at home and would have never dated or anything like that. So I think I would have been that dad, the shotgun dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really do. So it's a good thing. It's probably a good thing I had all boys.
Are all your kids male? Your kids boys?
Yes.
Okay. That, you know what's interesting about that? If you have all kids that are male, like you have only sons in your family, when they have kids, girls will start popping in. As babies go. We're all males in our Thompson family, just males. And then my first nephew got married, had his first kid, and it was a girl. And we didn't know what to do with it. How do you hold them? You know, because you're all raised with boys, you know, the poor women, the wives and stuff, they're all like, there's no girls here to talk to. There's just boys. And all of a sudden we get a girl that's like, we don't know what to do with them.
I know how to raise girls. I probably would have been the same way, not even wanting to hold the poor thing. You know, my boys, I know how to raise boys. I'm a pro at it. I've been doing it for 25 years now, and still doing it to the oldest, 25, 22, 16, and 12. And Linda has a daughter that's 28. So there is a daughter in the family, but not directly related. So yeah, we're just one big happy family. None of them live. Hunter lives there with us. So, but Linda said not for much longer. So I think 18 and he's out. I think he's going to college anyway. So yes, Miss Diane Fowler, I'm going to be a grandfather. I'm too young to be a grandfather. Really.
No, you're not.
I'm 47 years old.
Yeah, you need the energy though. I was talking to a friend about that today. It's like he was saying to me, or yesterday he was saying to me, man, I wish I had kids earlier because I just don't have the zip in my I used to have, right? So he said, I wish I would have had them around 20 or 21. And I said, yeah, I don't know. I loved hanging around with kids, making snowmen and snow forts. And now when I'm around them, the energy, it's like almost too much stimulus for my brain. You know? And why? Let's do this. Christmas, I spent at kind of my second family's place. And my goddaughter, she decided, she's 6. She made the whole place into a hotel. So when I arrived, there was one of the people there that happened to be the person who was the check-in lady, so you had to register. Another person there was the bellhop, so they took all my luggage and took it down to my room. Then I got a VIP pass so I can use the bathroom, which is important to a 6-year-old apparently, and will be for me. But I just thought it was just absolutely cute, So.
Well, that's awesome. Let me ask you a question, man. Who's going to document these findings, and where are we going to be able to see it?
For whose findings? And I mean, everyone's findings, or
no, for this sighting you just talked about.
Well, first of all, we got to make sure that what we're hearing is what they're perceiving to be correct. That's my first concern. So what I have to do is, what came in with the report was the Sasquatch was on the side of the road. The good thing is we had the actual coordinates of exactly where it was. And that was a good witness that was smart enough to punch those into their GPS unit. So, and it's in an open clearing. They seen it in an open clearing. It was in about 9 o'clock at night. So what we have to do first is go through the report and find out. So I read the report and then I reflected on it, and I have a couple of questions. The Sasquatch was standing up in this open area, and then it went on all fours. And then it kind of took off on all fours. So that's kind of curious to me. Like I said, there's about a foot of snow there, I think, from what I remember of the report. I think it's about a foot of snow.
Makes perfect sense to me. I don't understand. Why is that curious?
Well, it makes me curious because it gives me data. So, Nick, we were talking today about...
Oh, not curious in a suspicious way.
No, not at all, no.
Okay.
It makes me curious of... So, if it's standing up straight and we're in a foot of snow, and the report reported that the footprints were much deeper than the witnesses that showed up. And the nice thing was the witnesses went out the following day and brought 2 more people with them to check out the tracks. Now remember, if it's a foot of snow, that even if it snowed up there, we'll still be able to track the tracks because we'll be able to find them in the higher or the denser tree areas, right? So the possibility is higher for us to keep a long chunk of time following the tracks. The reason why about the difference between when it comes down on all fours is the weight distribution should be different than when it's standing on its, if it's walking bipedally. The weight and the holes that are in the snow should be half the distance down in the snow as it is when it's flat. When it falls on all four, you know, because it's just distributing the weight differently when it's on 4 limbs than it would be with 2. This was down in Slocan Lake, and it's you can check it out on BFRO's main page there. You'll see it all. If you're from BC, you'll totally know the area. It's only about 4 hours from our location, so that's within our striking range of what we would go for a report. The key part is that it's fresh. And tracks will be around for at least, as long as we don't get a heavy snow, not till next week, apparently. Those tracks, or at least the indents of the tracks, will be available for us for a good 2 weeks. And it's right next to the lake. It's on I think it's on the west side of the highway, 6A, and the lake is on the left-hand side. There's 2 acreages there too, so that's also excellent because we can go and ask those people there if they have had any problems. And the way the road distribution is, so the main highway is our main highway goes this way, and then one of the acreages are like this. The lake's on this side, and there's another acreage that's over here. The sighting was on this side, right next to this other acreage. But the acreages are far apart. They're a couple of kilometers apart from each other. Well, so by using the roads, we can grid out the area, also see where it's been located. Go ahead there.
I'm sorry, I just saw this. This is Wes Germer. This is the real Wes Germer here. Gary's going to start doing advertisement for reverse mortgages on his show. Okay, I'm quiet. He's still a large man. Yeah, I'm the same size you are, except I think your head is probably a little bigger than mine. Just say.
I don't know. You guys,
and rightfully so. You should have a very, very large head to match that body you got there. Huge fan. You must be getting famous because when I'm stalking around your place in the woods.
A lot of people there with me.
Thanks, Fred. I'll just say this much. My wife is she's a country girl, and she will shoot. So I feel sorry for anybody stalking around there while I'm not there, because I'd be the one protecting you. Trust me, it would actually work out that way. Okay, now what I was going to ask, what are they hoping to extrapolate from this? I mean, even if they find the tracks, it's just going to confirm the sighting. Is that what they're trying to do? No, we're doing it. This is not anyone else doing it. We want to find the data out. So the other thing is we go out past the location of the sighting, and we do a straight line out approximately 2 kilometers
either north, east, or west, but direct out. Then we do a full circumference of that whole entire area. And then we find out which way the trackways are going, from the center part to the outside circle. Then what we do is we increase that so we can find out, we want to find out, remember the other day we were talking online about, are they transient? Well, if they're transient, let's see where they go and let's find out where they go. And so that circle, once we find out the direction that they're going, and we won't have to check out larger areas because it'll be more funnel focused, just in a, say, in a 500-yard swath. As soon as the track, we start finding out which direction the tracks are going in. But we'll also check the tracks from where they're coming, or came from. So what we'll do is we'll split our team up. So one team will head out, and that'll be Nick because he's the fastest, and maybe Drake. But those two will head out following the direction exactly where the tracks were located. And then we'll be heading back into where they came from. So we can get yeah, I mean, it'd be sweet. Again, when we were talking to Thomas the other day, they're managing coming across 115 tracks. So a lot of good data in 115 tracks.
I have actually with Mark Zasky, probably more than that. We didn't count them.
Right.
But it was 4 different individuals, including one with feet this big.
Right. So there's a difference probably when I would walk on a site like that, because I'm looking for things that most people probably aren't looking for in the ground, and reading the ground, and also reading the exact tracks, or what's happening with the tracks. So that's why I always say, like, finding 3 clear tracks, or there's lots in 3 clear tracks to learn about things. And this is the other thing too about short. We have kind of lazy thinking when it comes to stuff. We just find tracks and we start following the tracks. Well, don't follow the tracks the way you're doing it from excitement. Give lots of distance from the track and follow them through as far as you can first before you even get close to the tracks. Don't even get close to the tracks without filming the tracks prior to even getting close, like even walking next to them. Don't put your foot next to it. Don't go near them. Follow the tracks straight through. You want to see what kind of, I suspect that these tracks are going to eventually hook up to deer tracks. And then the tracks will more likely start following deer tracks in the snow. That's my suspicion of what I'll probably find if it turns out to be that way. So I just got to get on site. They took pictures too, so I'm waiting for those pictures to come in.
Okay.
And that'll tell me a lot right there, because I don't want to travel there, because I've done this 100 times, and you guys will as well, or have as well, where you hear like it's a really good story, and you get out there and you realize, oh, this is nothing.
Yeah, no, look, I hope it all works out well. And I mean, I know you're going to have the cameras and the audio going, and documenting everything as good as only you know how to do it. But when you put it out, make sure you come back and see us here too. No way. I mean, I hardly hang out with you guys at all. Why would I show you that stuff? Come on, Kerry. Of course I'm going to come back and do that. I love you guys. What are you talking about? Yeah, you're the only one. I'll put the link up there like 4 times. No one wants to join me.
Come on, you guys, join us. Who cares? It's New Year's night. I've only had 2 beers, so I'm not sloshing yet.
Well, I've had none, and you know, I start my shift at 6 a.m. So, but you know, that's the good thing about being an older guy. You don't need that much sleep.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have that hard of a job anyway. But you know, we have the expedition coming up. It's set. The crew is set. You know, it's a lot of the same guys. Equipment that we had. Most of the equipment that we had that I didn't sell. To stay alive during COVID. We still have the really good stuff. So we cut down on a lot of the body cameras just because that was going to be a logistical nightmare just for me putting it together. But I think with it being a year later and having a lot more time to think about how we wanted things to go, it's actually going to be better and not so fly by the seat of our pants. You know, there's a lot more, even though we had certain things planned, there's going to be a new little wrinkle in there. I talked to Miss Lynn. I'm not going to give her last name, but she lives near Brooksville, and all I've ever heard are aggressive behaviors out of this area. And she has private property there. We're going to be, myself and 3 others going to be leaving our expedition area to drive up there. It's like an hour away, to stay for a day and a night, do an investigation, do a segment with an eyewitness there, and just see what's going on there. I'm looking for someone with private property in Florida that's wooded, so we could do this. And we're going to start filming. We'll be there the day before. We'll film for 7 days straight. It's going to be a 7-part series, and the whole thing, it's not going to be about Sasquatch necessarily. What we're trying to do is just get something better than we have now, some better evidence, some guys that are willing to make the sacrifice, that are going to go in these areas, these deep, dark places when things are growling at them, and not run away, with cameras. And, the thermal drone is going to be a big tool for, if we locate anything, getting guys in position to where someone can go in and hopefully run it out where these guys can catch it on camera. That's what we're going to try to do. We may fail miserably, but the story of it, that's my job. I'm not going to look for Sasquatch. These guys are going to do this. My job will be to tell the story, and that's what it's going to be about. This group of guys, what they've gone through to get this kind of evidence, all the successes, the failures, everything that they're going to go through, every minute of it. After every time those guys go in and come out, they're going to sit down in front of a camera and talk about what happened, what they went through, and then what they captured. So there's going to be a lot of dynamics to it. Plus this other segment that we're going to have with Lynn, and so it's going to be really good. And I was kind of thinking I might be out of it.
What do you mean?
COVID might have saved me from having to do this. But
I don't think sometimes, Carrie, you're pretty brilliant at what you do, and I like the way you're listening to that, because a lot of people don't understand how much time it takes to edit it, because it's not editing it. You're, like you said, you're trying to find a rhythm through all the data, that you have all the information, and you have to somehow really reflect on it over a chunk of time to find, or maybe sections of it to get that all knitted together. So us at home, when we're watching your videos, and you do a pretty damn good job, I think, both you and Linda, with the videos that you guys put out, to give an atmosphere of an observer, but also providing the narrative, like you're talking about.
It has to be there. When even if you have no evidence, obviously you need the narrative. But even when you have it, it doesn't do any good just to throw up a picture of a Sasquatch and not tell how, what you went through to get it. It's going to get picked apart completely.
Yeah.
So if you can expose the guys, show everyone who these guys are, okay, that they're just regular everyday people. They're, for the most part, only 2 researchers are going to be going. Everyone else are just regular everyday guys that have credibility and standing, and they're older for the most part. There's a few young guys that are going to be going on it. We've got our medic. He's kind of young. He's 32, but that's his job, is to take care of everybody. And we've also have our military guy. He's also a medic, Brandon Shoma. And I think, everyone has their own reason for why they wanted to do this. And I think the rewards are pretty self-evident, if it happens the way we want it to happen. But, if we get what we're after, for me, I think if we can all look back and say that the journey was the reward, then it will be successful no matter what we get. And I think if we can convey that to everybody else, it'll still be a good program, a good show. We're going to get something. There's not a doubt in my mind. Zasky's pointing the way. He's going to show us. And, the way I plan on making this, no one's ever done this. No one's ever done it. And we've been waiting for someone to do it for a very long time. But, I think it was Gandhi or somebody like that said, be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I think I really appreciate that's what made me start following your channel and stuff like that. Was, I mean, on the timeline of the YouTube channel world, I mean, it's been interesting to watch it really evolve over the last 15 years, especially this year. Like Justin was talking on his last video he just posted there about, man, it's just like we're getting a flood of a whole bunch of different Facebook pages and YouTube channels on Sasquatch. And he's right. I have to be selective now because I would just chronically be posting things from all these new sites that are coming out, and you have to kind of weed through it to just try to keep the top of the cream of the top kind of stuff. And I think that's a good thing coming up for 2021 is, well, even the next 4 years up to 2025 is upping the game out here. And I think people are kind of getting what we're trying to say. It's not about, we're not disagreeing with anybody, but we're asking everybody, no matter what you're looking at, is to really articulate why you're saying it's a Sasquatch and where you formed that idea from. Even if it's maybe wrong conclusion at the end, it doesn't matter. At least you have narrated it. So if it is wrong, that we won't make the same mistake, and we'll appreciate your kind of unraveling that for us, because all of us have gone down the same route. Like somebody posted the other day about these structures, and he was totally going on with it about how this is a Sasquatch. And I thought, this is not Sasquatch. You're looking at First Nations. And of course, then the attack happened. And I thought, how do you negotiate that? Because it's not about them not, you can't really attack somebody because I know where they're getting that information from. And it's the online community. So you have to educate them and just say, what I mentioned on the page was, well, you know, I thought this was a site that you guys were wanting to banter ideas back and forth and help you educate each other. And then I said the next part of what I wanted to say about the structure he was specifically looking at, which we have littered throughout where he's located, all the way down through the valley, down to Penticton, which is, you know, a good 300 miles. And that same structure you'll find if you go through the valley, and it's usually First Nations. So I think a person would want to know that. But I think what you're doing, I mean, when I talked to you when we first got going here too, and I looked at you and I said to you when we were on the phone there, and I said, you and Linda are good people. And I don't, you know, you're good people. And that, you know, I've been online for 5 years, and there's not good people, but there is good people, but there's also crazy people. And then there's people who don't really know, but they're doing their damnedest. And then there's people who think they know everything and all this other kind of bizarre stuff. And that's their thing. Everyone gets the right to go whatever angle they want. But what I appreciate about you, and also Daniela, and again Jay, and there's Brent from Tall Ones, Justin, Thomas Steenberg, a lot of the people that I've met online here, and that you guys are all good people. I can trust good people. Good people mean that you fess up like you did the other day. You know, Leon, I make a lot of mistakes, you know. Yeah, we both make a lot of mistakes, you know.
And I speculate a lot, but and you talk about speculation. You know, the speculation is not a bad thing. It's you need a theory and a hypothesis. Pure speculation can be confusing, and that's why candor you can learn from.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about going through the woods and talking about what you're going through and narrating through the journey. Even if you're not doing it in real time, go back on your edit and narrate through what's going on and tell us what's happening. Like I said, I'll watch that all the way to the beginning. Hey, big shout out to our Court for Brains, $25 super chat. Thank you so much for that.
Well, I think the idea about the way we're going to do this trackway is we're going to show people, if you come across the trackway, do it this way. Don't just go in there and start looking at it and projecting onto it. Slow your whole process down. This is what we would do, a systematic way of looking at it, and explain why we're doing it that specific way, and what data you will collect or what information you'll collect about doing it a specific way. That's the stuff we haven't been people haven't been showing, and I think it's coming. I think there's a lot more people that are interested in doing, like you and I were talking about the other night there with Daniela, about providing a healthy narrative and explaining it from the inside out, why this is more likely a Sasquatch or why more likely it's not a Sasquatch, so that people learn. So when they're there, they're not sending me videos of structures and saying it's a Sasquatch and me saying, what do you think? Or them saying, what do you think? And then I say, oh, actually, that's probably a First Nations blind is what or hut you're looking at. Well, it doesn't look like it. Well, it's because it's an older one. The top part's no longer there. You probably find the pieces on the ground. I want to have a conversation like that. I don't want to have, well, I can't believe you don't think this is a Sasquatch thing. That just ends the conversation. Well, let's educate each other. Let's play with the ideas that are out there in regards to the data. And, you know, with this journey you guys are going down in Florida, yeah, this is what should be done. It should be done in every bloody state, and it should be done by a group of guys who are willing to do it with the right people. And it's not about being right, and it's not about not looking like that you're not going to get it. All of us who've been out here, like in other words, the shot kind of thing, even with Justin going back in that area, I've been trying to support him and promote him as much as I can for this new area. And of course, he's young, so he's got that keener kind of sense in himself, which we all do, like I do, about going to these tracks, hoping they're going to be something that we can work with. But time it's a lot longer. Like you always say, we need people in the bush 24/7 for a good year, 2 years, because you have to be in there that long. I mean, we'll be lucky if we can be up there for 5 days. If we do find something, we'll get a lot of stuff out of that for 5 days. Sorry, I'm thinking about the amount of snow I'll have to go through. I have to remember snowshoes when I'm up there. But
yeah, you're going through. You're going to be going through some pretty treacherous stuff there. Freezing.
Well, it'll be beautiful, though. That's the other nice things too. But I mean, but that's what.
Notwithstanding, okay, it's going to look nice. I'm going to feel terrible, but it's going to look.
Yeah, well, you got to suck it up, right? Like Nick's out there right now sleeping at nighttime. Well, he's not quite asleep yet because it's only like 9:30.
Yeah, but Nick's like hard. You know?
Oh yeah, well, especially for old guys like us. Well, for me, I'm 57. Right? It's like, okay, let's. My brain still thinks I'm 24. Yeah,
right.
Until about 20 minutes in the adventure, then it's like, where's there a stump I can sit on? Is my voice changing? I'm reaching puberty at 57 years old. This is spectacular.
Well, you talk about. You know, upping the game, and with what we're doing down here, this is just what I've thought of over the years, what I thought would work. And what in the hell is that?
Is that you?
No, that's you.
I don't think it is. Let me check. It's got some feedback from somewhere. No, I'm still good.
Why was that doing that? I don't know why that was doing that.
Sasquatch, Bigfoot, UFOs.
This is just what I've thought of for years, what I thought someone needed to do. Now, with what I've been thinking of as far as strategy, if you want to call it that, I don't think it's going to work anywhere else but here, because it's such close quarter and they don't really have very far they can get away from us. I think in mountainous areas and wide open ranges, they can just stay far away from you and watch you, and you get closer and they just stay away. Here, it's not like that. It's going to be a lot easier for a large group spread out to really find something, either stumble across something or find it on thermal at night. Nighttime is going to be our best time out there for catching, I think, anything moving around, or at least watching us. I don't know how long it's going to be before the game is up, but you know, I'm not trying to. If it does become the linchpin for some new style of research, great. That's not really the purpose. That's not what's in my head here as far as this. I just want to make something that is going to, that people can watch and say, oh, okay, Sasquatch are real. They are out here. Look what these guys did. You know, that's it. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about these guys that are doing it. I mean, my name is going to be on it. Obviously, I'm making the thing. And the guys are going, they understand that it's my way. It has to be. That's why there's not a lot of researchers going. You know, Martin Newbill and Larry Porch are the only two researchers as of right now. We may be adding Blake Deutscher, who's a young guy too. But everyone else is just regular everyday guys that know the woods, that are no direction, that are going to be able to sit down in front of the camera and articulate, what's going on around them. They're not going to be standing there at 1 o'clock in the morning and looking into this dark area with something growling at them and run away. I don't think. I wouldn't blame them if they did. But someone has to go in there. Someone has to do this. That's all there is to it. somebody's got to do it. No one does it. I don't blame them for not doing it, but at this point, someone has to.
Right. Well, and again, where you guys are going is, again, it's kind of like tiger jungle, like in Thomas's area and Thomas Seawood's area there. When you get on the coast here, it's pretty thick stuff, and so your brain, everything's heightened as you're looking through that thick stuff. Yeah, your brain's really going to be peaked. The advantage I have is the area that these tracks are in that we'll be investigating with the same kind of area that I have here. There's snow here. We don't have leaves on the trees here. We have higher spacing between the trees. So it'll be a lot more, if there's something there, we're going to at least get a shadow whack as it walks by or something like that. So that's going to alert us. But if there's something in the foliage you guys are looking at, dealing with down there in Florida, I mean, that's just a thick wall. And right. And you're going to either hear something but not see it, strain your eyes to look into the bush to find out. At least those guys will be doing that, right? Strain your eyes in to think that there's something in there and stuff like that. Key part is, again, having to, how are you going to get them on camera? Like that's going to be a tough one.
That's exactly right. And we do have several things in mind that we are gonna try to make this work. We've got the thermal drone. That's going to be a huge, huge tool for us at night and even in the daytime. This particular camera that I put on the drone, you can change the palette, which adjusts the ambient temperature, so you can use it in the daytime.
Yep.
So but at night, I think is when they're going to get a lot more brazen. They'll be want to get a lot closer to us where we are, instead of us having to go deep off into the middle of the palmettos to find them. They do seem to put something between them and you. A thick palmetto grove, a 10-foot canal, something in between there. But I still think we're going to do well.
Well,
and when you go out there, the thing about being down there is, if you're paying attention, you can hear them. You can hear the limbs popping. You can smell them when they're close. I'm talking about within 50 feet. And that smell is very distinctive. There's no mistaking what that is. So you'll know if one is close. Now, all the handheld thermals just walking through that thickness. And we've talked about this. What are you going to do if you're walking through and you're watching your screen, because you're having to watch the screen to dodge the tree, right? And you're going through and all of a sudden you see this huge thermal hit right there 5 feet away from you to your right. What are you going to do? You have to keep walking. Get on the radio and say, hey, he's right here. And just keep going. Don't stop and draw attention to it, because that's when he might reach out and grab your ass. Excuse me, kids. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's been a tough year, Kerry. We'll let it slide.
I have such a potty mouth.
Well, the other thing too is, if you could kind of, I don't know the area, and I'm not even going to speak about Florida because I've been down to Florida and stuff, so that's why I'm not going to speak about the canopies and stuff in the forest down there, because it's just not familiar for me enough. But if you do know that they put you behind a canal between you and them, is if you can set up a perimeter on the side that they're actually on. Could be by drone too, right? You try to outfox them, and I think that's the fun thing about it. It sounds funny that I would use the word fun, but yeah, we're pretty sophisticated primates. They could be pretty sophisticated primates. Let's play with them a little bit. Now, a lot of people say, "Well, play, Leon. These things can kill you." Well, yeah, they can. And so can grizzlies, and so can cougars, and so can deer, and so can moose, and so can all these other ideas. But the neat thing is when you just go out as a photographer and try to take pictures of any of those other animals, you play with the idea of what they're like, and you don't be stupid about it, of course. And I think what you guys are trying to do is be wise with the way you're doing it, and you're not trying to be stupid, but don't be cautious, or not say don't be cautious, but play with a whole bunch of different thoughts and ideas of how can we outwit these guys, just for fun. Just do it that way, right? And then see if it's going
to have to be made. Some kind, at least a sense of primal fear is going to have to be overcome at some point. When this thing's close, and of course everything in you is telling you we have to get the hell out of here,
Right.
because that's what happens. That's natural. That's normal. What we're asking these guys to do is stand up in the face of that and go in. I'm going in. I am going in. Now, I'm not going to do anything stupid. If something sounds like 4 lions roaring at me at one time, I'm probably not going in. But at least I'll have that on audio. You know, hey, this is why I didn't go in there. Okay, you guys heard this, and we'll put the drone in the air and try to get a good angle and get the thermal hit of it. And Mark Newbill made a good point. We're going to catch these things. At least Apex is peaking up because it's happened out there before. Having the guys on radio and getting them into a position, if we have one on the drone, you're going to see the size difference in this thing. If it's a big guy, and there's a lot of big guys out there, and everyone else that's moving in. And I really think they're going to move away. I think they're going to get away from us. I think maybe they will charge, and guys will be running for their lives, but we'll have that on camera too. And the good thing about the drone is it doesn't record internally, it records externally. So all the recording equipment will be on me as I'm flying the drone. So even if it crashes or they happen to throw something at it and hit it, or jump up and grab the thing, whatever, we'll have it. We'll have it on film. So a lot of stuff. We are going to try to fool them, and I think it's probably at our folly. But I want to try certain things. I want to try the fake campsite with the baby crying inside the tent.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
We've got static cameras to set up inside the tent, maybe 1 or 2 outside. Try to hide them. They probably wouldn't know they were there anyway. But just to try to spark some kind of maternal instinct, have the recorder of the baby crying, maybe even have a baby carrier, to leave in the tent, set the timer on it, take off and leave. 10 minutes later, the baby starts crying and no one's there. What are they going to do? I think they're going to try to get close.
And I think that's an awesome idea for sure. Yeah.
Well, that's one thing we're going to try. So, and we have quite a few others. So look, we got Brandon Shoma. He's hooking up traps and all kind of stuff. So that guy's incredible. He's off the hook.
Carrie, can I ask you a question here? Of course not, Leon. No, you can't, Leon. What I was wondering is, has anyone been into the area over the COVID period?
Do what now? Say that again.
Have anybody else, since the COVID thing has hit, like say over the last year, has there been many people in the area?
I'm not sure.
Stopping in, or if it's an open, or no one's been up there from you guys. No one else has been up there that you're aware of in regards to just the general population or anything.
It's open. Florida opened completely about 4 or 5 months ago, so it's open. I'm sure there are people have been out there.
Okay.
Now, I will say one of the places we're going, and Martin Sasquatch drew attention to this, is less than a mile from where 2 people from 2 different campsites went missing without a trace. What happened to them? Not saying it was Sasquatch, but I just wouldn't put it past these things. I think people shoot at them, and that's the end of you. I was just looking at this. Short for brains, what size should you wear? 13. So.
They'll be the ones with poop on the toes. Holy oops, too late. Well, the only reason why I was asking that question too,
not gonna happen, Carrie. Sorry.
Nice. Yeah, I was just wondering if there's nobody been there and all of a sudden you guys show up there, they'll be really sensitive of you guys being in the area, of course. So
the thing about this place is, and there have been a lot of these stories that come out of here, out of these fringe camping areas that we have access to, people missing stuff out of their coolers at night. So initially going in, if we're as nonchalant as we can be and try not to give ourselves away of, while we're there, even though we're going to have a ton of equipment, maybe for a day or two, we can get them to come close to us, to watch us, because that's what they do. That's just what they do. They want to watch you. That seems almost obvious that that's what they're going to do. So, and something Mark told me that was very interesting one time is that he was down there. They had gone in the front one day, and there's a pier, and there were like 5 or 6 people out on the pier, and he heard the most ungodly scream, and it sounded like something was ripping a tree apart or a log or something, and these people never looked up. They never looked up, like it was just a normal thing. That is what awareness does. That's what not being aware does. You are so caught up in your own little world. You hear this scream, whatever thing, and I'm sure they heard it, but thought, okay, there's a hog or something out there, some animal. And it's one of these things, and I call them things, just not trying to be disrespectful. I don't have a ton of respect for Sasquatch because they never have had much respect for me. I respect their right to live.
Yeah.
I won't shoot one. And he's gonna have to grab me. My life's gonna have to be in imminent danger for me to pull the trigger on one.
Hey, I noticed Max Powers just showed up here. Max, how come you're not online with us? Put the link up there. Come on, Max, come and join us in here. And Jamie from Saskatchewan. I'm glad about all the ducks you keep showing over the last year of me being on Bigfoot Odyssey.
I don't think Carrie's going to leave his trailer. What trailer are you talking about, Steve? And I don't drink, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Stop projecting there, Hoss. I'm going to be out in it when we're there filming these guys do it. I'm going to be right there beside them. So make no mistake about that. Whatever you see of them in the woods, it's going to be me on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, I think it's a great adventure you guys are going on for sure. I mean, the part of the exciting part is just going on the adventure. And I think that's the great thing about when you're looking out for Sasquatch or Bigfoot. It's the adventure part of it. I mean, we're stoked about this whole idea of what we might be finding. Might be totally let down, but there's that adventure part of it that just is so awesome to get out and do. And
I get that. I do. I'm not interested in that even a little bit. Adventure. This is going to be work for me. Now, these guys, well, I'm sure they want to have fun. It wants to be, they want it to be an adventure for them. I'm fine with that. We'll catch that on camera. What excites me is I've been there. I know what is in there. I'll see Mark Zaske sit on the road with Melanie and film into these places, throwing 5 pounds of apples and watching them come get them. And they're seeing them in real time. Now this is the new place where the big guys are, that Mark is going to take. Just me and him are going to go there, and we're going to fly the drone in from the road. We're not going in there. Now the other places, we're going to be trekking through. We're going to go into their living room. We'll be off trail most of the time, going through there. So we're going to scare something up, or we're going to hear them run off, come to us, whatever. I've heard them talking in there. Well, the second day I walked in there with Mark, we weren't even, the cameras wasn't even on. We were 100, maybe 200 yards in, and you hear it just across the canal. Coming from the thick bush across the canal. There's nobody in there. And we're gonna have the high powered dish, the parabolic that I'm just gonna get another Rode NGT1 to use it with, because these right here, these bad boys pick up. They pick up whatever.
Hey, how wide's that canal?
Do what?
How wide's the canal?
Those canals are one going through there is 11 miles long, but they're about 15 feet about. Depends how much water is in them. 15 to 20 feet. Yeah, you're not getting. You'd have to swim over there or take a John.
You gonna take a boat out? Can you take a boat out down there? Put a camera on it and just leave it on there?
I suppose.
If they're on the other side, it'd be interesting. I don't know.
There are ways in. There are ways over on the other side that we are going to do, but a boat, and all that just seems like a whole lot of sugar for a nickel. You know, not worth the trouble. We're going to have so much stuff as it is already. Just food for this many guys for a week is going to be, you know, I've already worked all these things out for so long, for years. This has taken years. And I've had another whole year to almost back out. I was this close. But I can't do it. I cannot at this point back out. People have gone, a lot of people have gone to great lengths to help us do this.
Yeah. And
I can't let them down. We're at least going to make a film of a bunch of guys camping out and looking for Bigfoot, whether we find anything or not. You guys are going to get to see that. So I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to be, I honestly think day 3, they're going to be tired of us. That we're going to start really getting some aggression about maybe not even that long in. It's because we're going to be in there constantly. Someone's always going to be in the areas. And it's not a huge area. It's like a little over 1,000 acres, maybe. And these things are packed in there. They have nowhere else to go. If you look at it from aerial, it's just the woods and there's nothing around it. So that's why I think we're going to be more successful there than we would anywhere else with the tactics that we're going to use.
Well, I like the idea too about going in, pushing in, and then leaving cameras so they come back out towards you, and those cameras and they're not aware. They think you're gone out, but the cameras are still there rolling. That's a neat idea for sure too.
Yeah, we're going to do some stuff like that. The body cameras pointing, backwards.
Yeah.
Because I think that's our pointing wherever. I think that's when they're going to move is when we're not looking. But we are going to have cameras that are looking. The 4K Sonys that I cut down to 4. We had 10, but I gave the other 6 away because I said I would give them away. I actually sent one to Justin. I don't know if he's used it or not, but let's see. Here's a question or negative. I'm just finding, if you guys are asking more questions, you can put them in caps for me. It will be a lot easier for me to see them. Carrie, do you think they could get away by going into it? I'm sure they do. Absolutely. Oneg. That's been a thought of them going underground into some hole somewhere, into some thicket where it's just going to be too hard for us to go because we're human beings. But for situations like that, that's where that thermal drone is going to come in handy. It's got 2 cameras. It's got a 4K camera on it with an optical zoom. It's not just a digital zoom. It actually has a zoom motor in the camera for clarity, and
nice.
The Bosun 320 that's on it. And it's a smaller drone than we had before. So it's got sensors on all 6 sides, so it won't let you run into anything. You can actually navigate through the woods with it and not have to worry about crashing into anything. It was a well thought out purchase for almost $7,000.
Oh, well, that's a good way. That's a good way to purchase a $7,000 item.
Yeah,
it's well investigated for sure. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't find one that was all together that would do what I wanted it to do, what I needed it to do. That was actually a thermal drone. So I got a drone to do what I wanted and had drone nerds put a thermal camera on it. So, and it works. That thing is so clear. The only time I've used the thermal on it was when I first got it and I tested it and I flew it this pasture behind my house where the cows are. You could see the cows at 800 feet.
Nice.
You could actually make them out.
Nice.
They were just as clear as could be, and everything orange, hot, gray, blue, cold. So it's a good look. Was a good palette. Probably the one we're going to use most of the time. but it's going to be a work. It's going to be so much work. The thing is, I spent.
Reshift it from work, because I get it. It's going to be work for you. Shift it to play. You need to shift it to play because you're already overwhelming yourself before you get out there, which I get. Trust me, it's a good strategy sometimes, is reframe things and just, I'm going to just go over here and play with this stuff here. I get to play with it and stuff. And I mean, it's again, too, you are still negotiating with yourself. I don't want to see these things, instead of, maybe I do want to see these things, but in a safe way, which you would say yes to, of course. But
yeah, on film is where I want to.
From 800 feet away. Yeah, baby. I'd like to see it that way too. The clearing opening and a nice sunny day would be most spectacular. So I don't know.
It's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. It's the only way I'm going to be able to do it is to go in following these guys and filming them.
Yeah.
And trying not to think too hard about me being in that position. But I'm pretty good at putting myself inside the camera while I'm out there. I have learned how to do that pretty well. So I spent over $2,000 on SD cards, the good ones, the really, really good SD cards. And every time these guys go out and come in, they're gonna have to go to the computer, and I have a 20 terabyte external cloud that they're gonna download everything onto, and that's gonna be inside a Faraday bag, just in case, because you never know who's out there with what, trying to erase your shit.
Yeah,
I didn't say that, kids.
I thought you said ship. I thought you were a sailor.
I said ship.
Yeah,
they're trying to erase my ship.
Yeah, because we talk about ships and Sasquatches. They're almost hand in hand, like UFOs and Sasquatches. Sure. So it only makes sense that we would say words like that.
Steve asked, are you going to have search dogs with you? If so, put GoPros on them. GoPro for an action cam is decent, but for clarity, not that good. Plus, they're fisheye, so everything looks really far away when it's not actually.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about a GoPro. But I would not put a dog through what we're going to do. I wouldn't do it because I think they wouldn't make it out. Chuck Gonzalez says Sasquatch has the whole animal world under its control. You may be right. I may be crazy. I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah, did you catch the one about the small drone, setting out a small drone quicker before you send out the large one? Yeah, that's the one.
Well, the drone I have is small. It's a Mavic Pro Enterprise.
Oh, okay.
Mavic 2. So it's pretty small. No, I want to get the best quality out there ASAP. And instead of having to drag something else out and carry something else with me to take out and do, the drone's going to do our recon for us, because we're going to be able to see if there are alligators close by. Maybe it'll pick up big snakes. They're cold-blooded, but it might pick them up. I don't know. I know it'll pick up alligators if they're big enough. So we're going to use the drone for that for sure. And then seeing what's going to be around watching us. I got a feeling as soon as we drag it out, they're going to be all around the camp. This is what I expect. Yeah. And I try not to expect a whole lot of things.
Yeah, don't project on it, because they might actually sneak around you guys, go back to your camp, make you guys some dinner for when you come back a hard day, try to film them. And they just show up at their camp, and it'll be like that commercial with the mom Sasquatch. She's doing the laundry outside, and she's got that little kid that's jumping on. I think it's advertising for mattresses for beds. But so you'll come back, and they'll be there. Oh, you guys, did you have a good day? Oh, I know those Sasquatches are so hard to find, aren't they? My cat is driving me crazy. She's like, I want to hang. I just want to hang with you. Can we hang? Why don't you just hang? Hang.
All right, everybody, listen.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I thought you were going to call me, so I'm sorry. I just talked right on through it.
Are you still on it?
Yes, you're on there too, so don't.
Okay. Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah, keep your potty mouth under control.
Yeah, you're about to get in trouble.
Yes, it just.
I went outside and had our little toast and our prayer, and so
Well, that's good.
It sounds like Camden's here.
Yeah, it's 2021 for me right now. I think Leon, you still got a couple hours, right?
Yeah, 2 hours yet. Yeah.
Well, happy New Year, everybody. Baby, I love you. I'll call you back here shortly.
I love you too, honey.
All right, bye.
Bye, Linda.
290 people stayed and
that's sweet,
and listened to us. So yeah, I really do appreciate all of you guys. We're nowhere without the people that believe.
100%.
And that's most of the people that are here. I mean, believe to your core, absolutely, but not everyone has seen one of these things. They have to believe us and the people that actually have seen them. And that means more than anything to me, that there are that many people that follow us, that believe in what we're doing, what we're trying to do, which is just make more people aware that these creatures are out there. I think that's our best angle. That's really all that's really all I think we have that we can do. We can't prove anything. All we can do is
a great compliment to you and what you've been doing. You have 290 people on New Year's night.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a good party.
Yeah, it makes,
and so there's obviously some great appreciation. It goes both ways to everyone who's online right now watching what you do and what you actually do. And, you should feel pretty proud about what you're doing. And you're not claiming to be a superhero, research excellent extraordinaire dude. You're just being you, which is why I think we all watch you, is we just appreciate what you and Daniela do. And I mean, I know Daniela's dealt with a lot of the troll kind of situations and stuff. And you've had that kind of scenario too. So I mean, it's an easy target for people at home dressed in their thong and weighing 300 pounds, drinking an extra large Slurpee and criticizing you by trolling you online,
right?
But
And the only real valid criticism any of them really have of me that I found anyway, I'm sure there are a lot of them, but the only one that I really take any stock in is that I don't go looking for Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And after this, they won't be able to say that.
Well, I get that too. I'll say, well, Leon needs to get out of the bush. I spent 10 years in the bush. How much more Leon want me to spend in the bush? Like, hello, have you been in the bush for 17 to 38 days at a time in isolation, flown in with a helicopter? Probably not. So don't sit there and whine to me about, well, Leon should be in the bush. Yeah, okay. That's why the younger generation is important. We don't have the body we used to have. It's important to help them out. So support for sure.
The funds are not available for someone to go out unless you're just, retired independently there, wealthy or whatever, and have the drive and want to go out and spend, months at a time trying to get close to these things. Look, I had them around me for 7 years and didn't know.
Yeah.
I knew something was going on. I was suspicious it was other things, but 7 years before they showed themselves.
Yeah. Well,
I was out there a lot.
Oh, that's it. Something happened there.
Something happened. Was it me? It was probably me.
All of a sudden, my whole thing went click, 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 and then all of a sudden, boom. But it just turned 2021 for you, right?
Yes, it did.
How's it feel, Carrie? I got 2 more hours, man, of 2020. How's it feel, man? I don't know if I can make it 2 more hours.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't want to say. I don't want to say because I'll probably wake up with COVID. I'll probably wake up with COVID in the morning or something.
I just want to know.
The bad luck is not gone yet.
Everything's going to change tomorrow. The sun shines. There'll be magic little ponies roaming with wings in rainbows tomorrow. It's not going to happen, is it?
My taxes are going to be very easy to do. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, I suppose.
Pretty quick and simple.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm gonna go to bed now.
No, for sure.
Leon, thank you so much for joining me here and letting me have someone to bounce things off of.
Well, you're really appreciated on behalf of everybody in the chat too, and a lot of other people will be watching this after this is no longer on. Honestly, Carrie, you and Danielle are really appreciated for what you're trying to do. So just want to make sure you hear that loud and clear on behalf of everybody that would like to probably say, love you, Carrie, love you, Carrie, love you, Carrie, love you, Carrie, love you, Danielle, all that kind of stuff. You know,
there is a reason, Daniela, that I have Daniela does this with me, and it's the two main reasons is she does not pander and she does not patronize.
Yeah,
she does not ride the fence.
Yeah.
She's going to let you know one way or the other.
Yeah.
She used to be really, really bad about it. Now she's good about it. So
yeah,
we're all learning. Learning.
Time to walk for sure.
Go and watch some of our first shows and cringe like I do. But hey, it's this stuff in my teeth.
Well, you're picking your teeth, and everybody in the chat who've been supporting Bigfoot Okanagan and your comments and all of your kindness, we really appreciate you. We hope we can.
And if you haven't subscribed, go and do that right now. I'll put a link in the description after the show.
Yeah, no big deal if you don't, for sure. We're not in a rush to.
Yeah, well, I'll do it.
Have that kind of stuff. That's not what we're online. So
I'll get it done.
Anyway.
Yeah, big shout out to all our supporters that have supported Bigfoot Odyssey, My Patriot Supply, Duke Spirits, big supporters of Bigfoot Odyssey, and we really appreciate them. Everyone, the donations have meant so much, especially the last few months. You guys that donate through the PayPal, you just throw your money out there, and can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys for that, for sure. And all you guys that just join us every time we come on here, it's surprises the hell out of me every time it happens. So
yeah.
thank you all so much. I'm going to bed, gotta go to work.
Happy New Year, Carrie.
Happy New Year, Leon. Happy New Year, everyone.
See you guys in a year on my side.
On your side. Yeah.
2 hours from now.